Mum, I'm hungry. So we keep these on the shelf for our hungry teen. You've seen how easy it is to make. Just boil a kettle and you've got your own healthy version of pot pasta. Add whichever veg you like, and I'm going to show you how to make it now. So we're using macaroni because it's Rose's favourite, and you can see I've got quite, they're larger than normal size jam jars here, and you can see I've filled them about a third of the way up with dried macaroni just out of the packet like you would buy in the supermarket. Now, ordinarily, you cook these when you're just eating them normally. You cook them and then eat them. This will not work if you just put hot water onto them. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook it first, then dehydrate it. So literally all our hot water's job is to do is to rehydrate it. So I put this into each of the jars, just about a third of the way up. You can see I've got different sizes there, just what we had in the house. And I've got them, I'm just cooking them as according to packet instructions. Right, so that's all cooked, and what I've done is I've drained it, and I've also run it under some cold water just to get rid of the starch that was on it. Now we're going to put it onto our dehydrator trays. If yours are like ours and they have these holes, finger for scale, the macaroni is going to fall through the holes. So we're just putting these sheets on them, and we're going to spread the macaroni out onto the sheets. Right, so we've got 6 trays in our dehydrator. Just wanted to show you how we've spread them out. So they will go into the dehydrator and 57 degrees Celsius between 9 and 12 hours. Now I'm leaving this overnight, so I'll start at about I don't know, 9 or 10 tonight, and I'm just going to put it on for the 12 hours. It is quite humid here at the moment. We've got a lot of rain, so that's when we adjust the timings. So I'll come back after 12 hours of dehydrating. Now I forgot to video this as it came out of the dehydrator. So they're all dry, as you can see. I did double check they are completely dried through after the 12 hours at 57 degrees. And these are here now. What I also forgot to video was the vegetables that I have put into the dehydrator. So I'm just going to quickly show you that. Now I cut up 2 large carrots, very small, and then I also put in 1 small tin of sweet corn, the Green Giant sweet corn, and I also put in a tray of petit pois as well. Now the petit pois and sweet corn, I put those in straight from the tin because they're already processed and will just need warming up, so they can be dehydrated as they are. With the carrots, I did cook them first, and then they've got into the dehydrator cooked. I will just show you those now. There we are. Excuse the noise, the dehydrator is going, so I will be brief, so you can just see how small I have chopped these up. There's the sweet corn and there's the petit pois, and I have put these on at 57 degrees still, and I've put them on for 10 hours. Now here we have the sweet corn and peas that are finished. They've been on about 6 hours. The carrots aren't quite done, they're still a little bit spongy, whereas these are definitely completely dried through. So I'm just going to leave the carrots in for a little bit longer, but so that any humidity in the air doesn't get to these, I'm going to separate them out into the jars now. Now, while the carrots are just finishing dehydrating, I'm going to talk to you about the flavours that I'm adding. So the first one is this bouillon, and we just happen to have the vegan one. So it's an instant, basically a stock powder there. Now our stock cubes that we have are quite sticky, so that's why I wanted to use this as opposed to normal stock cube. And so whatever flavouring you decide to use, so I'm using stock and a cheese powder. Just double check at the back how much you're going to need. This one says 4 level teaspoons per litre, or that's as a stock. You can actually make a hot drink out of this, and it says 1 level teaspoon per cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a teaspoon into each of these. Okay. And there will be the additional flavour, of course, with the cheese powder, which I will show you. So that's a bouillon, that's just what we get in the UK. And the cheese powder, this is just, again, what we have. Now, because I'm lactose intolerant, this is an instant cheese sauce that my mother-in-law got us actually to try. But obviously, Rose wouldn't have any issues using something with milk powder in it. And if you're okay with milk, then by all means get that. And you can see that this is a powder as well. So my main thought was to keep this dry. Now, with regards to this, to make a sauce, it says 3 or 4 heaped tablespoons for 300 ml of water. That's 10 fluid ounces. There's going to be slightly less. I've worked it out in these jars. So I'm going to add sort of 3 not quite heaped spoons, and then what I'm going to do is ask Rose to try one, and then if she wants it cheesier, then that's I'll add some more in. Okay, so I'll just finish off doing these. Now that's all done, and I've put the lids back on just to make sure that the humidity stays out again. There's one at the back here, which again the lid is up in the loft, so I need to go and get that at some stage. Or actually, Rose is on her way home from chess, so I expect she'll be starving hungry, so maybe she can give it a go. That's if the carrots have finished. I don't think they're going to be too much longer. So an important thing to remember is we don't want to create any heat fractures in the glass when we're putting hot water onto these. So it's important not to use boiling water straight out of the kettle. The other thing you can do is add a spoon down into it. So as you pour your hot water in, the spoon with metal, of course, being an excellent conductor of heat, this will take the heat and will help. But once you've boiled your kettle, do let it come off the boil and sit for a moment. So you're using hot, not boiling water. The idea for these for us is for Rose to be able to go out and make herself a quick meal in between our main meals of the day, because she's a starving hungry teen, and I trust her to be sensible enough to know how to deal with glass and hot water. But if you're doing the same for your family and you're not quite sure, then just get a large mug and tell them to tip the contents of this into a mug and then fill it up with the hot water that way. So that's easily done. And if you are going to use these for travel, then what you can do is pour these into a like a Tupperware, a plastic tub, and then take a thermos of hot water, and then when you're ready to eat it, put the mix into the hot water and give it a stir that way. So our carrots are now done. You can see how small they've gotten, and how dry. They will rehydrate, and this was 2 large carrots here. So I'm just going to sort of roughly divide this up into 7 and pop them into the jars. Now, don't forget you can use any veg that your family will like, and it could be onion, leek, spring onion, broccoli, Rose isn't a fan of onion, so I didn't want to put those in there for her. I won't make you watch me do all of these. So this is now ready. I'm just going to shake it up a little bit. And then that is now able to sit on the shelf, completely dry, and wait for her to be able to use it. And hopefully this will be the start of being able to successfully fill up the teenager in between meals. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this process, and do let me know in the comments below if this is something you're going to do. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye bye.